Welcome to episode 2 of Coco Confidential. We're talking about the truth about moving to Costa Rica today. I got Juan Pablo, Talia, and Steve with me. I'm Robbie. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Talia, where are you right now?
I am in Sacramento, California.
Oh, how exciting. Our jet setter. It's a beautiful sunset there.
You know, that's my Coco. That's my home.
So thanks for being on, guys. Today we want to talk a little bit about the dream versus the reality of living in Costa Rica. One of the first big questions I have is biggest culture shocks moving to Costa Rica. As immigrants, what did you, when you came here, found to be the most shocking culturally?
Pura Vida. Like we talked about, things are a little bit slower. People are nicer. People want to speak. Just releasing and letting things go at their own pace instead of trying to constantly direct the speed of things. Just let it go. It'll get done. Just learning to undo that rat race and learning to undo that urgency, because everything's so urgent in the US. And like you were talking about, being able to find things urgently, like, okay, I need this. I should be able to just walk in the grocery store. Like I walked in the grocery store, I was like, what do you mean y'all don't have makeup? Just learning to do things at a different pace and accept that you are no longer where you came from.
I mean, the tranquilo, Pura Vida, definitely, it is there. That's a big part of the culture here. For me, the fact that I've come from corporate America background most of my life until I went into real estate. And I'm just so used to there being so many fire drills and everything's an emergency. And you come down here and, people are just like, this is not a big deal. Like, this is not important. Like, I'm like, you're right. It's not. Why am I taking this so seriously?
Like, why are you worked up over this?
Right.
Yeah.
Question. So I was programmed to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We're getting deprogrammed here in Costa Rica. What other culture shocks? Juan Pablo?
To me, it was just that getting everything on a timely manner, like Talia was talking about. But other than that, there's really not a big difference from where I originally come from. It's very similar.
Culturally similar to Guatemala.
Yes. When I was in Guatemala last year, it was really nothing different than here in Costa Rica. So I can't really talk much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even though, people thought, oh, yeah, you speak the language, like it's supposed to be a lot easier for you. But honestly, when I came to Coco, I was like, yeah, I speak Spanish. Like I'm fluent. Like I lived in Guatemala for 25 years. But then listening to their slangs here in Costa Rica, I'm like, standing in a corner and I'm like listening to this Costa Ricans speak to each other. And I'm like, what? So then once I started friending Costa Rican people, I had to start asking them like, what do you guys mean when you say these words? And then now I kind of like, okay, now I can understand. I can have a conversation, use their slangs, know what they mean. So I think that when people think I'm going to move to Costa Rica and I want to learn Spanish, I mean, if you're going to be in Coco, you need to learn Coco Spanish because you're not going to hear it the same way. They don't speak the same way here as they will speak in San Jose, for example. So just because I speak Spanish, a lot of people back in Canada say, oh, I'm going to go to Mexico. Can you teach me Spanish? And I said, I can, but I'm going to teach you Guatemalan Spanish. And in Mexico, words mean completely different things. So you need to learn Mexican Spanish if you're going to go to Mexico.
For, I think, English speakers, like native English speakers coming here, we are expecting it to be like Duolingo Spanish or like the Spanish you learn in high school, which is like Spain Spanish. And the Spanish here, I'm like, I have no idea what anybody is saying. There's certain accents I can understand better than others, but like when I first came down here, it was shocking. I was like, that's not how I was taught to say any of this stuff. So for sure, that is the regionality of the language.
And you didn't use the word manzana nearly as much as Duolingo led you to believe you would.
Truly. So Steve, tell everybody about Huevón, like your language.
Speaking of finding out local slang, all my friends were in the office, my Tico friends speaking Spanish. I lived in Brazil for a few years, so I speak Portuguese fluently. So I've been doing okay. And they kept calling each other this word. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Maybe this is like dude or some words in Portuguese that I learned. So they're using the word huevón. I'm like, okay, cool. So I start using it thinking it's like, dude, so I'm at the bank, I'm at the grocery store, and I'm like, so the teller, I finished my stuff. I'm like, gracias, huevón. And she looks at me, I'm like, huevona? And she just looks at me, and I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Huevón.
That's kind of when I thought, like, maybe something's up. So I go back to the office because I had been using this at the grocery store, wherever, thinking this is just some word. I'm like, guys, what does huevón mean? And should I be using it at the bank, at the grocery store and stuff? And they're like, you're using that at the grocery store and at the bank? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, what was the person's reactions? I'm like, well, they looked a little weird at me. I'm like, should I be using that? They're like, no, don't use that outside of like your inside group of friends. It's not a nice word for public use. I'm like, thanks for letting me know, guys. Really appreciate it.
So for our non-knowers, what does it mean, Stephen?
Can I say it on
Yes, you
the
can say it.
podcast?
Yes, you can
It's
say it
like-
on the podcast.
Balls.
So you call so you're
Like literally translated, it means balls. And so I'm all across town calling everybody, testicles.
Hey nutsack, what's up?
I'm like, oh God. Luckily I hadn't used it with any clients. But every culture has those idiosyncrasies. I had the same problem in Brazil when I was learning Portuguese. I called a young woman a carrot once. So you're gonna go through all that kind of stuff. And you just have to roll with it and just ask questions of people you trust. And, I just chalk it up to, oh, well, silly American, doesn't know what he's doing, and moving on with my life.
Oh my gosh. I've not done.
What do you the classic Steve story?
So, but as far as culture shocks, when I got here, I had lived in Brazil, like I said. So it's a Latin American country. So very, very similar culture, to our point from our prior podcast. It takes us a lot longer to get things done. But it's also because you go to the pharmacy for anything pharmaceutical, any kind of medicine. You can't just go to the grocery store and get Tylenol or whatever. You have to go to the farmacia. You have to go to the grocery store. You have to go to the furniture store. You have to go to the hat store, the cigar store. Everything's very specialized in their shops. That's very similar to the way things were in Brazil. So I shifted back to my Brazil mentality where everything is kind of dissected in a different way. They don't have that one place to go for everything you need, a supermarket thing. And again, the pace of life is just a little bit different. Granted, Brazil is a little bit more fast paced where I was living, but still there's that calmness. And to Talia's point from before, you're seeking that blue zone lifestyle. So that comes with some trade-offs. You don't have that high stress environment at work. I'm used to getting back to clients as soon as possible, but sometimes it takes me a week to get back to my clients because it took me a week to get the answer. So setting expectations with them up front, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to ask today. I will probably have a response for you 7 days from today. Doing business differently, like you said, Robbie, in corporate America, that was very different. Here, a week response time is completely acceptable.
Normal.
Yeah. So you have to kind of learn to accept that and understand that, and also mitigate expectations from people who aren't used to it.
Yeah. So you're working with
done.
clients from North America.
Yeah, really setting expectations up front about how long this will take.
So what do you guys think is harder here than you thought it was going to be?
Banking.
Banking. Number one, banking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That long process to get the account. Yeah. Banking, definitely. Financing.
Financing. Yeah.
It's very long process. We're so used to pre-approved today. And then you're like, oh, okay, it'll take us 2 months to get you approved. You weren't in a hurry to get that.
Right.
So.
You didn't want that car like this week, did you?
Okay.
This month? This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think shopping in general to in other stores, that when you can just go buy a very simple item at a furniture store, and it could take sometimes up to 2 hours just to get that done at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
thought
to
it was
finish
like
a transaction.
I thought it was just kind of like a thing in the Guanacaste area, but then a client of mine was recently, just as I was purchasing furniture for her condo, and then She went to a big store in the big city, and she told me it took about 2 hours for them just to take payment for a chair, a rocking chair. And I'm like, really? I mean, in San Jose? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's just the same all over Costa Rica, you know?
Yeah, we had a crazy experience in a store out by Hawakis where we ordered lamps, and the lamps here in Costa Rica are very expensive. And they didn't have them in this store, but they had them in the San Jose store, and they sent them. They came in the boxes. When we got to the store, they opened the boxes. They're the wrong color lamps. And they're like, no, we can't return them. There's no returns. We're like, we didn't even take them. You ordered the wrong color. And it was so difficult. Like, they had to send an email. It took like 2 weeks for a manager to review this, return. They just, the process. I was like, this is way too hard. Like, I didn't make any mistakes. You guys sent the wrong lamps. I just want you to return them. Like,
yeah.
And they wouldn't send them until we pay for them in full. So then
Right.
we're invested,
Like,
And
I was like,
think
why is
that's
this so
also-
hard?
I think that in that aspect, it's an adjustment for us as much as the people selling at local stores here, because we're so used to, like, you buy something at Costco, it doesn't where you return it, you get a brand new one, that's it. Or and wherever you go, they'll just return it. Here, they're starting to get used to the expat coming here. They buy something, they decided they didn't want it because they think it's the same back at home. But the problem is that when they don't get an easy return, they're more likely not to go back to that same store. That's what I tell
Oh,
people.
yeah.
I say,
I've never been
when
back
you're
to
when I talk to people, I say, when you're going to buy something, make sure you really, really want that, because it's very hard for you to return it. And most likely you will not get your money back. They will say probably you will get a voucher for you to cash in whatever you paid for that item,
Yeah.
because that's just
Well,
the
what-
reality of it is.
And we go into shopping with that knowledge for sure. I was just shocked that they sent the wrong product and then didn't want to return it. That's what I was like. I have the picture that we WhatsApped you, like right here. It's a gray lamp. This is white. Like, I don't know how else to, I don't know, right? Like, so, I mean,
And it also
you
never
can
looks
buy-
crazy.
Yeah. Or if you want to go buy something and then they tell you, would you like to buy the warranty? I just like, yeah, no, thank you, because
It's useless.
and it's not that it's useless, but like if you go to PriceMart and you buy a Sony TV or a Samsung TV, they have a warranty, but like you have to go through Samsung, I believe, to claim that warranty. It's not through PriceMart. It's not the same as Costco.
Yeah, we had a weed whacker that we purchased through Do It Center, which for those who don't know is the Home Depot of Costa Rica. And it broke like basically immediately. We had the warranty, we brought it in there, and they were like, oh, well, we're going to have to go ahead, send this to the manufacturer. They'll have to review it, make sure you didn't break it. And then if they approve it, we can give you a new one. I was like, okay, so how long is this going to take? Oh, a few months. Well, I need a weed whacker. Like, we need this product. We
Yeah.
can't just go months without it. Like, that's not a solution to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we don't buy warranties because I'm like, this is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
Every time they offered me, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you.
I know what I'm
All
getting into. I own this now.
Yeah, forever. So what's better than expected when you guys came down here? I will say the roads are better than I expected. I honestly, after most of my time before we moved here full time, being more down south in the Vida area and everything, I thought all the roads were paved. So the fact that we have any paved roads in the area I love, I thought that were going to be worse. So
I'll give you that.
Okay.
they're not great. They're not great, but they're better than I had expected.
Yeah, I mean, you're on that side of Coco.
What
What does that mean?
You're on the side where they want to impress people and they want people to keep coming back to rent. So yeah, like the street behind my house, I've driven up to the street before and there's people standing on the corner with their phone waiting for someone to run off in the ditch so they can have content to upload.
Could we get a live feed on that street? to watch
Right, we
people
need-
crash?
We need like the little bird camera running like 24 hours because yeah, once the floods come, it's gonna be
Yes.
highly entertaining. Like I did a showing out that road and we had to park on the side of the road, take our shoes off, cross through the river to get to the house. Yeah. So yeah, it gets bad.
When the rains hit, that road up to Cacique Hill where Marzul is, that's gonna wash away. That's gonna be gone as soon as the rains hit.
Yeah. So again, not better than expected, but
No. Okay, maybe I'll
definitely opposite of better than expected.
we'll put that in the harder than expected category.
Thank you so much.
What do we have for the better than expected category? There's got to be some because we have a lot of happy people here.
Honestly, the people I've met, I didn't think we would make friends as quickly as we did, to be honest. Be they expat or Costa Rican.
Yeah, both.
I feel like we made some great Costa Rican friends. We've hired some great Costa Rican employees as well that have kind of become friends. And while I wish the language barrier wasn't there, I feel like we would have probably a larger friend group if we were completely fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I would say the bulk of our friend group is bilingual.
Yeah.
So I wish that weren't true, but the people here have been fantastic. Everyone I've met, expats and Ticos alike, or Guatemalans, or Nicaraguans, or from wherever they are, those that truly embrace it and are here for the right reasons. They're my people.
Yeah.
The folks that stay here.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we get a lot of people that buy down here and then they are going to rent it out and then they end up staying like full time anyways. Like they don't end up renting, they end up keeping it for themselves and staying. So, obviously they get down here and it's better than they had expected, and they end up staying, So I think the lifestyle, it's definitely something that people, if you stay here long enough, you really appreciate it. Like it's better than you think it will be, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think you also have those people where they come in once and then they fall in love and then they just make the move right away. But I think you need to give a little bit more time to really experience it. Because once you're here, it might be different for what you were expecting.
Mm-hmm. What do people struggle with emotionally when they move to Costa Rica, do you think? Like if you're coming from a different country, what's the big emotional struggles?
Well, I think making friends as an adult is always an emotional struggle, especially if you're an introvert.
Yeah, that's huge.
For us, we connect with a lot of the different Black expats. But when we first got here, we didn't know anybody. So you start making friends with the people whose kids are the same age as your kids. And then you have to kind of grow up into different friendships. When Thomas, I worried about him most because he was here more full time and I was kind of in and out. So when he really made a friend who was like, hey, come hang out, and our daughters were the same age, I wanted to make sure that he had his friendships. I was like, I don't want to meet Jen, I don't need to meet her. I don't need her number. It's like, I'll meet her when I come in town, when it's organic, because I didn't want to take that away from him and be like, he can't even have his own friend. Like, I knew, who is this woman? So I wanted to preserve his ability to make friends and allow him to have his own friends. So I kind of felt like that was like, he's making friends, meet your friends, have your friends. I will meet friends when I come. So evolving through that friend making process. And now we have different friends because people come, people go. So we have different friends and people that come into the group, and some friends can't hang with this group. So, just kind of getting your community. And also, a lot of people struggle with loneliness. You're lonely around people because you may feel like an outsider, even when you're in a group. And I've experienced that, people ask you to come hang out. You don't really have anything in common. You're constantly telling your story to new people. But especially staying in a condo, because during high season, oh, hi, how are you? But it does kind of make you feel a little lonely because you're constantly up against new people and you're not always with your group. So you're kind of lonely in a group, so to speak, until you find your tribe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, one of the questions I've had for today's lineup was how hard is it to rebuild your community? I think that's hitting that exactly. Like you have to find your new community, you're in a new country, but you can't sit at home alone and then expect to find a community, right? You gotta go out. Like you were saying before, like you gotta go do something, expose yourself, find your new people, go to church or something, volunteer.
Yeah. And every time we would go to a restaurant, oh, hey, is this your restaurant? We're new here. Da, da, da. So we spent a lot of time introducing ourselves to people that whole first week, because your first month in a new place, you're going to be out, you're going to do the tours, you're going to go to the restaurants, you're going to do all this stuff because you're new to the place. I always tell people, budget more because you're going to blow the budget. You're going to spend way more money. But as you're doing the things that you were going to do anyway, you need to force yourself to be like, hey, we're new in town, we live here, and just really talk to the people around you, because they may be like, oh, well, my daughter goes to that. So you have to be a little more outgoing and get out of your comfort zone to meet those friends. And you won't have to do it always, but like when you first get there, you have to consciously make that effort so that you can see who's for you, who's not for you. And like for us, we were the only African American family with kids that were in the town. Like everyone else was a little further south. So even when we were with groups and we're like, okay, we want to schedule a play date, we're driving like an hour to go meet other families. But those Facebook resources were there for us. So we did get to hang out with people. We did get to do other things, but you have to make the effort and you have to be a little more outgoing than you would normally be.
So this Facebook, you're meaning like Facebook groups, right?
Through
Like Black Americans in Costa Rica or something.
Yeah, Black expats, and then there's different groups for different provinces, and people have meetups, so you have to consciously go, find out what the events are, Coco chit chat, because we need to know what's going on in our local community.
Yeah.
You have to actually get on there and find these events and force yourself to go so you can meet people, so you can build that
And catch up on the gossip.
Absolutely. The man. Oh.
Dios mío.
Yeah, I think social media plays a big part. I mean, there's a lot of gay expat groups, meetups, and stuff like that. In the beginning, I think that's really important that, a way to connect with whatever community that you're looking for, whether it's an art community or, whatever, LGBTQ, whatever, get on those Facebook groups. Because when we first got here, that was like, oh, look, there's other gays. Hallelujah. Until you find your people in the real world, you can meet people from the internet.
Yeah.
Well, and to Talia's point, Costa Rica is only the size of West Virginia. So in my American mind, it's a very small country, but to get from one part of it to the other takes a lot longer than it does in North America. And so these groups are great, and you see somebody you like, or you talk to them and, oh, where are you from? Oh, I live in Manuel Antonio. Well, that's 4 hours away. So that's not going to work. So you really, to Talia's point, you've got to put in the work and find the people that are near you. And sometimes you may have to drive an hour to meet up with some friends, and that's, or you just have to make a day of it and embrace it.
Or just stay over, man. Enjoy a new city, new town.
Because I mean, Talia, I've known you for what, 6 years now?
Yeah.
6 years, and then you guys were the only like Black American people that I really seen around town.
Well, because Coco is really like when you guys come, it's mostly retired couples.
Yes.
We're retirement age couple, but we got young kids because we started late, and then there were some single females. So even
your retirement age, Talia?
Harsh. But we're close. We're in the middle, But like, so for us, we have different friend groups that are Black Americans or Black Canadians, but we all can't hang out at the same time because we're running with our kids. So like they're having meetups. They're like, oh, come to the meetup. I'm like, oh, I got to pick up kids from basketball. We got to get the kids from school, and some folks just don't want to hang out with kids. And for a long time, we couldn't leave our kids at home because they were not leave at home age. So
that is,
it's like, yeah, I want to come to the house. They're like, I want to be at the house with your kids. So, that kind of, again, separating friend groups, who can hang with who and when, and how we can come together and still be adults about the fact that we're not going to see each other every day and we just going to make it work.
That is true, because even, I mean, in Coco's being such a small town, like you know of a lot of people, but you have like your certain groups that you kind of hang out every day. Like, I met you 6 years ago because of a friend in common that we had. And I met Robbie and Steve over me selling them my couch. And that's how
Facebook Marketplace or Facebook something or Coco Chit.
And then I met them through you.
So that's how our friendship started. And then I introduced them to you guys. And then we've met so many other people through you as well. And then they've gotten a lot of clients from you as well. So I think we have a really great group. I love our group.
Yeah, me too.
You got to build your own village if you don't have one, right? You got to build your
Carefully curated.
Carefully.
So you're the only one here with kids. Is Costa Rica good for families?
It is absolutely good for families. My kids are always invited for our birthday party. I literally got an invite like, hey, we're having a birthday party. We're at this community. It's going to be 4 hours. And literally when I see that the time is 4 hours, I already know we're going to have arroz con pollo. We're going to get them black beans. We get potato chips. We're getting the tuna appetizer. I already know what's about to go down, and I'm 100% for it because I want to eat all day at this birthday. Like, I don't have to feed my kids nothing. They're gonna eat good all day. Our kids get to do beach meetups. My daughter is at the age now where she can walk to the beach with her friends or ride the bus home, and I feel safe with them going to the beach, hanging out. Yes, they have access to social media, where the older one, and they still play online games, but my boys will still go outside and play. Like, that's almost unheard of in the US. Kids, little kids are not going outside and playing. Like, they're rolling in the dirt. We're in the ocean. They're swinging on trees. We went to look at a property and it just had all these gorgeous fruit trees. And we were like, where's Chevy? And he's up in a tree, like picking fruit. Like, these are things that picking fruit. And I remember we had rented like this beachfront place for his birthday. I think he was turning like 7 or 8. And all the kids were in the trees picking fruit, and they're like, give me salt, like, because they were putting salt on all the cocoa. So the kids are still kids for a little bit longer in Costa Rica than they are in the US. They're not forced to grow up as fast. And
I can see that
oh my
for
God,
sure.
my kids are sheltered. They'll never make it.
No, they're going to
But they're
be
still not Costa Rican
well-rounded.
kids. Like, there's still certain things about them. I'm like, oh, y'all are not 100% Costa Rican kids. Like, there's still things that are differences because of how they're raised. But yeah, I still feel like they get to be kids a little bit longer here.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of happy kids here, for sure.
Yeah. They even have a Children's Day. Like, when we first moved, we're like, what's that
Yeah.
celebrate? They were like, it's Children's Day. And we're like, y'all got a holiday for that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't they have it off from school and they do like a big thing, like a big
Yeah, it's like in
celebration?
September. They have big celebrations. And yeah, people generally love kids.
Now, Talia, I have a question for you as a mother. Do you think that your life, if you were living in San Jose, would it be different than your life here in Cocoa Beach?
I feel like if I were in San Jose, I might as well have stayed in the US. And it's only because it's too many people. It's a big city. Like, we go to San Jose and we're like, oh, we're going to go to the mall. Like, this is like,
I think that's an excitement for everybody in here because we don't really have a mall.
No,
Right?
and then the first time I went, I'm thinking it's like this little rinky-dink mall. I was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna go to the mall. And it was just me and the 2 older kids because Thomas and the baby were in the US and we were doing some passport stuff. So I was like, okay, going all the stores. Well, it was 300 some stores. I'm like, oh, we got to go.
Yeah, that's like there's like 3
the
or 4
malls are
stories
good,
in
and
that mall,
they're
right?
thriving. They had like 8 car dealerships in the mall. Like, they're
Yeah.
thriving. The
It is
malls are
huge.
big, but it's just so much traffic and so many people. I feel like it would be the same as being in the US. The kids wouldn't have that let's go to the beach. They wouldn't have as much relaxation and downtime.
I just know
Well,
I'd be
believe
eating
it or
at
not-
Outback every day.
For all the 6 years that I've been coming and now being living here since 2024 permanently, believe it or not, I have not been to a mall in San Jose yet.
Really? Oh, yeah.
But
They have
they have
that
like
I
La
have
Pasta,
that
Carolina
too.
Herrera.
You're missing
Like,
out.
they got all the good stuff.
Let's be real because when I was coming here, like at the very beginning, 2020, 2021, like you bring all your things and like, I'm going to wear this and I'm going to wear that. But then when you live here and you're here, you realize that you could live on 3 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of shirts, and you're set. You don't need more than that because people are not here. Oh, what are you wearing? Oh, nice shoes, because people don't really,
We are not like that. The
Yeah,
Costa Ricans are like that. So while you were super excited about them Walmart sneakers, I have people like, can you bring me some Jordans? And I'm like, you want real Jordans, like $300 ones? Or do you want like just something with a little Jordan sticker on it? Like, what are you talking about? So like, you got to look at it differently. They want some of the more fashionable things and they want like the shoes, but I'll bring in shoes for friends, and I was like, $130. Like, that's stuff I did in high school. Like, now I'm like, what are clearance shoes at? Because my kids do not care. Like, I can buy them any kind of shoe for school, and they just happen to have, oh, these are cute. They're red, But
Yeah.
in the States,
They're
they
like,
be
is there
"Oh,
a
I'm not gonna
Marvel
wear that."
character
I'm like,
Don't go after Juan
I'm getting
Pablo's
to that
shoes.
point because when I moved here, I had all my expensive shoes from back in Canada, and then now those shoes are destroyed.
Your fair
So they go in the garbage, and now every time I pop into Walmart, I was like, "Oh, these are cute shoes, 3 different colors. There's like 60 bucks, and in about 4 or 5 months, I'll be replacing them again, and I'll be going back to Walmart and buying new shoes because you're in a beach town.
Yeah.
You can go work on wearing flip flops. Like it's so different here.
And I do.
I switched from my professional activewear to my lounging at home activewear.
Yeah,
He really
it's so
does.
different. Oh my
He's got
God.
fireworks.
Oh
Once
my
you got
goodness.
fireworks.
My personality. What can I say?
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about who shouldn't relocate to Costa Rica.
Who shouldn't
Grouchy
relocate to Costa Rica? The people that
Mhm.
come to this country and they expect Costa Ricans to change for them. They should not do it because
Mm.
we are guests in their country and we need to be respectful. Some expats come here and expect for them to get service and then they want everybody to speak to them in English. If a Costa Rican person goes to your country and demands you to speak to them in Spanish, it's going to be a different reaction. You know what I mean? That I do. If you're going to come to Costa Rica, you need to be respectful to their people because they are renting you in their country. You are a guest in their country, so you need to be respectful and you need to be learning their language. They don't need to be learning your language. That's just how I think.
I agree. If you're coming here and expecting to live like you live back at home and expecting people to be the way they are back where you're coming from, like just stay home. Like don't come. This isn't the place for you. No one's gonna tailor themselves to you.
Or the expats too. You know, when I think this happened a couple of years ago, you're driving just outside of town and some expat is putting some signs about Trump. And I'm like, what does Trump has to do with Costa Rica here? You know, like there's
leave that shit at home.
signs or any of that. Like, yeah, just leave it. You don't need to be doing that in here.
We had a woman staying in our apartment complex a year ago. She was here for a few months. Her husband was doing some work. She was awful. We had power cuts. We had water go out occasionally as it does. And she would call me up every minute and complain. And then she didn't understand about Semana Santa. The week of Easter is huge. I mean, the freeway basically goes one way to the beaches, and then it goes one way back from the beaches when Semana Santa is over. And I was telling her about this because one of the water problems we had was on Easter itself. I'm like, there's no way for me to fix this problem today, hopefully tomorrow, but it might be 2 days. And she's like, well, why is it such a problem? I'm like, because it's Easter Sunday. She's like, well, what does that matter? Just call someone who works on Easter Sunday. I'm like, no one works on Easter Sunday. Everyone has gone to the beach. And then she turns to me and says, well, I hope they don't come to our beach because it'll be all crowded. And I was just like, it's their beach. We're the guests. Why are you saying that to me? And I just made some flippant thing and walked away from her. I'm like, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm done. Get out.
Our beach.
Yeah. I can edit that out if you want to, but
no, I love it.
It really ticked me off. And I think that was the last time I spoke to that woman, no matter what problem she had, because I was pissed.
Well, she went and lived in Juan's complex for a minute.
She did. She did.
That's the problem.
And then she avoided me every time she saw me on the street. I'm like, that's right.
I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
Some people come here, and I have to say, it's ridiculous the way they behave. Where, you know, if you have no water here, at least in Las Palmas where we live, you know, nobody else is going to have water. So these people were renting a condo from a friend of mine, and they called her and told her, there's no water. This is unacceptable because you're not able to tell me when the water is going to come back. So I'm going to go stay at another different Airbnb. And then Dale had to go pick up the keys, and Dale told her, you do know that wherever you go around here, that place will not have water either because I don't have water in my condo. You don't have water. So nobody else is going to have water. It's ridiculous that because of that, they decided to leave their Airbnb. Listen to people when they're the people that have been here the longest that know better. Is to me a very childish behavior.
Yeah.
On their
Yeah.
Well, seek to understand. Like, is
kinda-
this normal? Does this happen? Is this going to clear up? Like, yeah, like because now you're just wasting your time and energy and everybody else's time and energy moving to new unit when you're just not gonna have water there either.
Yeah, I mean, look at it from a more holistic approach. Like, okay, there's no water, and ask around. Okay, yeah, this happens sometimes, maybe once a week. It lasts usually 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes we don't have it for an hour and a half. Same thing with the power, but it's not like a habitual thing. It's not like we're out here camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have water. It's okay. We have water to drink and bathe. You'll be okay.
We'll be fine. The swimming pool's still full. Let's go to the pool for a couple hours,
Exactly.
Go to the beach,
guys.
touch
Go to
grass.
the beach.
Not a pool bath. That happened to us one time. A pool bathroom.
Oh, not the pool is a bathtub.
But no, that happened. So we lived on the golf course, and the water was out one morning, and the property we lived on had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath above it that was part of the property. And the lady had to go to work, and we're up in our pajamas, and we see somebody in the pool like splashing water.
You got to do what you got to do.
I have to go.
You gotta do it.
I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
And we're
Find
like,
a way.
You got to do what you got to do. There's no water. You have to use the bathroom. You go get a bucket, get water from the pool so you can flush the toilet. That's just how things are done here. And I think the other people that shouldn't be coming to this country is if you do not like bugs, don't come.
Oh God, yes. Preach.
Because people is like, oh, there's a cockroach. Yeah, there's cockroaches in this country. I get them all the time. Doesn't matter. They're still going to be coming back. They're
Yeah, you're gonna see them. They live here.
Yeah.
My
Or
favorite
people
is
talking
there's
about,
a dead
like-
cockroach in the room. I'm like, yeah, the pesticide's doing its job.
Yeah, like that's what it's supposed. You're supposed to be dead. They're supposed to die when they get in.
People is like,
oh, okay, no, you're good.
there's ants all over the
Exactly.
place. And I'm like, yeah, ants, they're everywhere here. No matter what you spray, what you put, they're still going to come into your place. I know Robbie has experienced this a lot, but like people complaining about mold in Costa Rica. It's a humid country. There's going to be mold
Yep.
all the time. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, we dealt with that a lot in Florida too.
Really?
In Florida, like people moving from up north and they're coming down and they're like, "Is there mold?" I'm like, "Oh, absolutely, 100% in
Definitely.
Florida. There's gonna be mold somewhere." Like,
Yeah.
I mean, here even more so. It rains 6 months of the year. Like, yeah, there's mold.
Should we do a mold test? No, don't waste your money.
No,
there's
you don't
mold.
wanna
I
know.
promise. You don't want to know.
Yeah, if you have one of those mold allergies, this is probably not the country for you. I don't know, but it seems like nobody that's from here has any mold issues. So, like mold allergies. So, I don't know. Maybe that's uniquely an American thing.
I would say it's all worth it for the positives.
Yeah.
All the weirdness and the strangeness and the stuff I'm not used to, it's okay. You adjust.
Right.
We're human
It's
beings.
all worth the
we
Pura
adapt.
Vida, baby. All right, guys. Well, thanks so
Yeah.
much. I'm going to wrap it up here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you all for episode 3 next when we talk about what nobody tells foreign buyers. So a real estate centric episode coming up. Thank you, Talia, Juan, Pablo, and Steve. Pura Vida, guys.
Pure